Alright, so last week I did a ranking of the first entries of 10 franchises, and now I will be going over the second entries of these 10 franchises because you guys seem to really like my last one. Got a lot of views, you guys told me you wanted me to continue this, and so let's do it. This one was a lot harder, and unlike the last one, I can't say all 10 of these are good. The first entries for these 10 franchises are good. Unfortunately, this time we are in some bad territory for some of these franchises. The bottom two are bad movies, in my opinion, and I know a lot of you will disagree with me, but I don't care. It's my opinion. Number 10 for me will be Hellraiser 2. I like that this movie picks up right after the first one. It's like a nice back to back watch. I rewatched this one for this ranking to make sure that I really did not like it, and I stick by my opinion. I really do not care for this movie. Pinhead is not better in this movie. I hate that they changed the look of like the other Cenobites. It's supposed to be the same ones, the same night practically, and the one woman's completely different looking. The Chatterer has eyeballs now, even though he didn't before. Just little stuff like that pisses me off. There's cool practical effects throughout that are neat. I like the Julie thing. I like this movie okay until they go into hell. And it's just this big old gray, dull, bland, stupid looking hell. Like, that's what hell looks like in this movie. It's just not interesting. It's not scary. It's just a very underwhelming sequel. I did not like this one at all. And I don't get why people love it so much, but whatever, your opinion. Now, my number 9 will be Leprechaun 2. Why this is above Hellraiser 2, even though I think Hellraiser 2 is a better made movie. It might have a better budget than Leprechaun 2, but at least Leprechaun 2 has a fun leprechaun killing people. You got the lawnmower scene, you got him in a goat cart running over people, him doing drinking contests. There's just fun moments in this movie. I hate Bridget. It's got some of the worst acting in this entire franchise. And every movie I'm talking about in this ranking, this has the worst acting by far. Bridget's terrible. I will always think she's annoying. Her whole fucking just attitude. I want to punch her in the face. So yeah, there's bad things about this movie. It looks bad, the quality, the budget, but there's fun moments. The Leprechaun is still entertaining in this movie. So that's why it's above Hellraiser 2. Next up will be A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddys Revenge. Some people call it the gayest movie ever made. This movie takes what was established in the first one and completely changes it to where Freddy's no longer someone who kills people in their dreams. He just possesses a body and kills people while possessing that person. So this is like a possession movie when you think about it. So Jesse's being possessed and he's killing people who aren't even asleep. Freddy gets into the real world and he's like slashing people at the pool. It breaks the rules of the first one and it just does its own thing completely. There's some cool moments in here. I think Freddy's the darkest in the franchise here. He's got some very good lines in here. He's very menacing. The makeup is a little bit better than part one. They don't have him in the shadows as much. They really show off the makeup. I like that scene where he busts out of Jesse's chest. You've got the body, I've got the brains. Great lines in this movie. Just not the best Nightmare sequel by far. I hardly go back and rewatch this one, and it's just, it's an okay sequel. Just not my cup of tea. Moving on to a movie I just saw for the first time a few months ago, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And it's not fair to be doing this ranking without watching it again, because the first time I watched it just to fall asleep. Like, it was like fall asleep background noise. You know, like I just threw it on. I was like, I haven't seen this, so I played it and I fell asleep like halfway through it. And then the next day, I played the second half while also going to bed while watching it. So I need to rewatch this, but I remember there being some funny ass moments with Chop Top. Chop Top is hilarious. So many quotable lines from him. You know, Nomland and lick my plate, you dog dick. He is just hysterical. He steals the show. He's a better character than Leatherface in this movie. He's just the best character in this franchise. I still haven't seen 3 yet as of this recording, but I just got it on Blu-ray, so I'll be checking that out. And yeah, it's a fun sequel. It does the sequel approach where it just does a different thing and just ups the gore, ups the ante. and it has a blast. The whole last act in the like carnival underground, wherever the hell that is, it's just fun. I remember this one actually being quite entertaining at the end. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, number 7. Number 6 will go to Wrong Turn 2. This is gory as hell. I think this might be the goriest film on this ranking. This, again, just like sequels do, they up the body count, they up the gore, and there's just a lot more bad guys in this one. There's 3 cannibal hillbillies in the first one. Now you got like a whole family. You got like a wife and a daughter, and the brother and sister fucking. This one tries to be nasty, and it gets very nasty. Incest and whatnot. This one has a lot of gross moments. So if you like gross horror, this is one to check out. You got Ken Kirzinger playing the Jason and Freddy vs. Jason. He's in here playing one of the cannibals. It's a bloody ass film. It's got Texas Battle, that's his name, from Final Destination 3. I like this. It completely like throws you off. Like you expect this one girl to be the final girl because she seems like the nice one, but then the goth girl, like the punk one, she ends up being like the final girl. I like that whole like subversion of expectations. Like, oh, you think she's the final girl? Nope, dead. She's the final girl. But yeah, the whole split down the middle with the axe, great kill. So moving on to another movie with fantastic kills. Number 5 will be Final Destination 2. This has the best opening disaster of the whole franchise. I like the plane crash one. I like the roller coaster. They're all good, but this one is the one people talk about the most. This is the most iconic. Whenever you get behind a log truck, you get scared and you think about this movie. This movie makes you scared to go to a dentist, to go in an elevator. This has some of the best kills of the franchise next to part 3. And just the whole barbed wire kill, the elevator hit, like it kills a kid, the little 15-year-old kid getting crushed by the plate glass. It just, again, it takes that sequel approach, ups the gore. It's just awesome. The only thing bad I can say about this one is I don't like the main girl in this movie, AJ Cook from Wishmaster 3. I think she's my least favorite, like, premonition character of the entire franchise. Like, she's my least favorite. I think the acting's a little poor in this one compared to the other ones. It has a neat idea with the whole, because this person died in part 1, this person got to live, and now it's like tying loose ends. I thought that was a neat idea, but that's about it. So let's just move on. Next up, number 4, we got Halloween 2. Just like Hellraiser 2, this picks up right after the events of part 1. You got Rick Rosenthal directing this one, but you got John Carpenter returning to write. This one, I just can't stand the whole idea of like Laurie being the sister. Now Michael's got a motive, and the first one he was like bordering, like teetering on the line between like supernatural and human. You didn't really know. Is he just pure evil? And this one, it's like, no, he is supernatural. He's getting shot in the fucking face with like a 44 Magnum, surviving that shit, swiping away. It's just silly. I don't like that. I don't like what they do to Myers' character. I don't like the performance by Dick Warlock, the whole zombie approach, how he just walks like a damn snail. There's just things that irritate me about it, but I still love the movie, obviously. I still watch it every Halloween. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't like that she's basically a side character. She gets comatose and she doesn't do much, but you got some cool kills in here. The best tits of the franchise. I know. I'm a guy. I have to talk about it. That one chick, I forget her name, but the bathtub scene, that's a great kill, and her boobs are great. And Bud, one of my favorite characters of the franchise, the whole Amazing Grace, come sit on my face. I love that guy. And he was in Wrong Turn, Maniac Cop 2, I believe, a couple years after this. So yeah, just some good things I like about it. The score gets updated. It's okay. They use the same exact mask, even though it looks kind of different. But it's the same mask, so you got some continuity there. But yeah, just little things that irritate me about it, but it's still a fun movie. Next up, number 3, we got Saw 2. This should probably be a little higher, but I got nostalgia for the first 2, my number 1 and 2. This one is a great movie. It's got a great twist. I like that we get to see John Kramer's character a lot more instead of just playing like a body on the ground. We actually get to see him, and his interactions with Detective Matthews are awesome. The play on words, the twist, your son's in a safe place, the game in the movie, the characters are better than some of the characters later on in the franchise. So this is a good sequel. Some people say it's better than the first one. So it's one of those sequels where it's like it's way better than the first one. I don't know. They're very close for me. I like the first one just a tad bit better, but this one's pretty damn great. So Saw 2 is my number 3. Number 2, we got Friday the 13th Part 2. This isn't Sackhead Jason, but I got the shirt on. Jason. I'm okay with the Sackhead look. I prefer the hockey mask, of course. But we got the best final girl in the franchise, Amy Steele. And we got some cool kills in this movie. Unfortunately, the MPAA had to cut this movie down. They didn't cut the first one that much, but they really cut this one. The shish kebab kill, cutaway. So the MPAA really fucked this movie. If this movie had on-screen kills, this would probably be a contender for like the best Jason movie. But the MPAA ruined the movie. But you got the machete across the guy in the wheelchair. Like, that's brutal because he's in a wheelchair, so it's just extra mean. You got some beautiful girls in here. I just love that we got Jason. It doesn't make sense, the continuity of the story that's already been established. Jason's dead. He was a boy. Now he's just a grown adult that somehow lived in the woods. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Still a fun sequel with the shocking opening at the time. It was shocking. Now it's not. We've seen the movie a million times, but I bet it was shocking at the time when you're like, oh, there's, Alice. She's back. And then she gets killed right in the open. This is like before that became a thing where every movie like Hostel 2 tries to kill the last survivor in the sequel. This probably started that trope of let's kill the survivor of the last movie in the sequel. Like, Maniac Cop 2, I think, did that as well. But yeah, it's just a lot of great things that I could say about this movie, but I don't want to say it right now because I will be reviewing these movies in May, in June, so I'll save it all for there. Great movie. That's my number 2. Number 1, my favorite, of course, just like my number 1 last week. This week, again, is Child's Play 2. Seriously, like, my favorite slasher of the 90s. It's my favorite of the Chucky franchise. It's got the best third act. It's got one of the best Chucky looks, because it does change very much as the sequels go on. It's got some of his best one-liners, like, goddamn women drivers, and shut up and drive or I'll kick your fucking teeth in. Some of the best kills, the eyeball kill, the t-shirt, him beating the shit out of her with a yardstick. This has so many great moments in it. And I love the score. It's probably one of my favorite scores of the franchise. The remake has a fantastic score by Bear McCreary, but this one has an eerie, toy-like sound to it that's just, it gets under your skin, and it scared me as a kid. Just the music in this movie as a kid scared me. And just the look of the house, it's creepy, that Andy moves into. I love how nice the parents are, and the balls on them. They are brave for adopting this kid. Hearing his story and what he went through, that's risky. But yeah, just him and Kyle, the best duo in horror ever. Them fighting together, teaming up. It's just great. Great characters, great villain, great one-liners, good kills. It's not gory, but they're still memorable kills. Great one-liners, great everything. Child's Play 2 is easily my favorite of these 10. I didn't have to think about it. As soon as I was like, what am I going over? The part 2s? I know what my number 1 is. Child's Play 2. That was easy. So yeah, that's my ranking. That's my favorite of the 2s of these 10 entries. What is your favorite part 2 of these 10 entries? What's your ranking? Put it in the comments below, and I will probably do another one of these. I'll see how this video does, and I might do a part 3. And that will come out next week, maybe. And look out tomorrow. If I upload this when I'm supposed to, tomorrow should be April Fool's Day, and I will be reviewing April Fool's Day with this awesome cover right there. Great movie. So yeah, look forward to that tomorrow, and my new franchise I will be starting, Phantasm. There's your spoiler. So now you know what to expect tomorrow. You got April Fool's Day tomorrow, and you got Phantasm to look forward to, and maybe something else that might surprise you. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button, share with all your friends, become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time,